New York football Giants fans, it's been a minute since we had our last video, but today we got some crazy breaking news out of New York Giants camp 1 day before voluntary camp begins under John Harbaugh and this entire new regime. All-pro defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence has officially requested a trade from the New York Giants, the team that drafted him, the team that paid him very handsomely, and the team that's still paying him $26+ million this year and next year for the remainder of his contract. In this video, though, I'm going to explain to you guys all the avenues the New York Giants can take. Are they going to keep Dexter Lawrence? Are they going to play hardball with Dex? Is Dex going to play hardball with the Giants? Some trade packages we could go over, and also my prediction on what is going to happen at the end of the day. That will be the best thing for both parties here with Dexter Lawrence and with the New York football Giants. But guys, if you got this far into the video, outstanding. I'm shocked that you made it a minute in. If you guys could like, hit the bell, subscribe, share this video, hit the thumbs up, all the stuff that YouTube wants people to do to get their videos out into the algorithm, please do so for me, because Giants content, draft content, I do Mets stuff, wrestling stuff, it is all going to be coming out hot and heavy now. The draft is less than 3 weeks away. That is extremely exciting. Got a ton of mock drafts coming out. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on with the New York Giants. Come on this journey with me as the Giants are trying to get back to their glory days. We get the news today. I'm sitting at work. I'm enjoying a nice, beautiful day. It's brisk out. What do we get? Breaking news. As per Adam Schefter, the New York Giants and all-pro defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence has officially requested a trade from the franchise. Guys, what do you think about right away? What do you think is going to happen? Comment down below in the comment section and say, do you think the Giants are going to trade Dex, or are they going to hang on to Dexter Lawrence? Right as I got the news, my initial thought of Dexter Lawrence requesting a trade was, okay, let's see the best package we could possibly get. That was my initial thought right away. Then I calmed down a little bit, because I do want Dexter Lawrence to be a part of the future of this team. I want Dexter Lawrence to be manning the middle of that interior defensive line for a decade, for 12 seasons, going to the Giants Hall of Fame, going to maybe the actual Hall of Fame if he continued that trajectory that he was going on to. But I can't lie and initially say that right away that I was excited about the possible trade packages that could come back in a potential trade for Dexter Lawrence. Okay? Under John Harbaugh, things have to start to change. Since drafting Dexter Lawrence, the New York Giants are 39, 76, and 1. Excuse me. This stuff kills me, this stuff. Trading away some of my best players. There we go. All better. Since the New York Giants drafted Dexter Lawrence, they are 39, 76, and 1. And if you're unaware what that means, 39 wins, 76 losses, 1 tie, 1 playoff win. Not all Dexter Lawrence's fault. He has been a tremendous New York Giant, but they could be 39, 76, and 1 with Dexter Lawrence, or they could be 39, 76, and 1 without Dexter Lawrence. It's common sense and common football knowledge. The defensive tackle on your football team should not be the highest player on your team. It is not how you run a franchise. He's already making $26 million this year and next year. Dexter Lawrence in 2023 signed a 4-year, $87.5 million extension to remain with the New York Giants through the 2027 NFL season. He signed the contract. The Giants didn't force him to sign the contract. He should live by that contract going into the next 2 seasons. I understand the NFL is a business. I understand that next man up, Dexter Lawrence, at that time in 2023, has now gone from one of the highest paid defensive tackles in football to possibly 10th or 11th on that list. That's just the way the NFL works, Dex. I'm not ripping it up, and I'm not giving him $150 million unless I could be assured I'm getting the Dexter Lawrence that's an all-pro guy. And I can't assure that for myself, for my team, for my fan base. I cannot be 100% certain on that. Because what I saw last year, as much as people want to try and get on and say that they watched him and he was the second or third best player on this roster. He was not to me. When I watched Dexter Lawrence last year, live and through film, Dexter Lawrence was non-existent. That was not the same Dexter Lawrence that Giants fans are used to seeing on a weekly game-wrecking, game-changing basis. It was not the same guy. You want to blame the elbow injury? Fine. Blame the elbow injury. I'm not blaming the elbow injury. He was on the field, so to me, he was fully healthy and ready to go. And he couldn't get off on anybody on the interior of the line. Aside from maybe 2 to 3 games last season from Dexter Lawrence, I didn't see that full dominant Dexter Lawrence. And if you're going to say he was the second or third best guy on the defense, it's not saying much from what you had on that NFL, the one that you had on the Giant defense last year, aside from Brian Burns. But like, this is where Giants fans are going to have to, this is where the cutthroat business of the NFL has to come into play, right? Dexter Lawrence, in my opinion, should not get his contract ripped up right now at $26 million this year and $26 million next year, which still makes him a very high-paid defensive tackle in this league, especially for the production that he gave us last season. I would not rip up that contract right now and hand him a brand new $150 million extension, giving him $30, $35, $38 million per season. Can't do it, man. I cannot do it. If you saw Dexter Lawrence last year, the way he was the previous couple of seasons before that, I'll rip up the contract and I'll wipe my hands with it and say, you earned this. Let's get this done before the market gets even worse next year and the year after. As you guys know, I am a huge fan of seeing things in the future, like I talk about with Malik Neighbors and getting his deal done after this year. After just year 3, I would still look to get the Malik Neighbors deal done because I want to avoid that big-time money. And you got to give Joe Schoen a little bit of credit for having the foresight to see that the market was going to be higher and higher and higher, especially for Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence being 2 of the biggest examples for the New York Giants. Now, the only reason Dexter Lawrence is pouting is because he wants more money. He doesn't care where it comes from. If the Giants and Dexter Lawrence come to some sort of agreement where their number matches or their number comes close, Dexter Lawrence will re-sign with the New York Giants. He wants more money. It's not about situation. It's not about winning. It's not about the franchise being in the position that it was in for the last 5 seasons with him on it. It's about money. All right? And he wants the most money. And it doesn't matter if it comes from the Giants, the Jets, the Eagles, the Falcons, the Bills. It does not matter where it comes from. Lawrence wants to be paid. And he's getting paid over the next 2 years. What could a potential trade package look like for Dexter Lawrence? Let's think about that. What could a potential trade package look like for Dexter Lawrence, right? If I'm trading Dexter Lawrence, I'm not letting him go for anything less than a first-round pick. Anything less than a first-round pick. Dexter Lawrence clears Quinnen Williams when both the players are at full strength, and Dallas sent over a second-round pick and a first-round pick in 2027 to acquire Quinnen Williams. The starting point for Dexter Lawrence, if I'm Joe Schoen, if I'm John Harbaugh, the starting point for Dexter Lawrence to be traded from my team is a first-round pick. That's where we start. We're starting there. I'm asking for 2 first-round picks. I'm asking for a first and second. I'm asking for a first and third. If you want to give me a first in 2027 and not 2026, I'm more than willing to have that conversation as long as you're also giving me compensation this season. Give me a third-round pick in 2026 in the upcoming draft. Give me a first-round pick in 2027 in that draft. We could have the Dexter Lawrence trade conversation. I'm perfectly fine with that. Saving the money on the long end for Dexter Lawrence and moving that money elsewhere, like Malik Neighbors, like other players that we could lock down long-term. Losing Dexter Lawrence would be horrible, man. It would be horrible. He's one of the biggest fan favorites for the New York Giants. I see a lot of Giants fans basically split on the Dexter Lawrence situation. Guys are saying pay him. People are saying don't pay him. People are saying he's washed up. I don't think he's close to washed up at only 28 years old. I think Dexter Lawrence has plenty of good football ahead of him over the next few seasons. The problem that the New York Giants are in right now is, are we giving this mega extension to a defensive tackle who should not be one of the higher paid players on your winning roster? A defensive tackle should not be commanding the most money on your roster. And that's exactly what Dexter Lawrence would do if the Giants come to the extension that he's probably thinking about. And he's probably thinking about $35 million a season. Now we go into the other conversations, right? Everybody talks about Kayvon Thibodeau. Everybody talks about this guy, that guy. You give Dexter Lawrence this big money, and he's an outstanding player. You're kissing Kayvon Thibodeau goodbye. You're kissing X, Y, and Z player goodbye, because sacrifices have to be made when you extend these great players. And luckily for the Giants, there's two ways you want to go here with the Dexter Lawrence situation. Don't sign him to the big extension, which I'm leaning more towards not giving him the extension. Let's play hardball. If a team's willing to give you a third-round pick this year and a first-round pick next year, or vice versa, first this year, third next year, I'm having that conversation every single day of the week, and it's going to be really hard to say no to that type of deal, to be fair and to be honest. I would pull the trigger on that kind of a deal. And you have the other way of thinking, which is give the man his money. He's been here. He's suffered long enough. But then the Giants, guys, again, I'm going to reiterate this one more time. The Giants are 39-76-1 with Dexter Lawrence here since he's been drafted. They could be that record with or without Dexter Lawrence, guys. Simple as that. And I get it. We're getting younger. We're adding better talent. I would love to see what he looks like under John Harbaugh. But this is a business, and it's cutthroat. If you guys got this far in the video, please like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. Let me know. Do you guys think Dexter Lawrence is going to be traded before the draft? Post June 1st is probably the more likely scenario where Dexter Lawrence does get traded. Let me know what you guys think. Would you trade him at all? Let me know again, guys. Thank you so much for watching.